Good morning. We are here at BSG this morning and we have the privilege of interviewing the Executive Chairman of BSG, Mr. Mteto Nyati. Hello, Mteto.
Hey, Lorraine, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. A lovely Monday morning here in Johannesburg, a bit of nice rain we've had over the weekend. And I'm really honored to be here with you today. I never, unfortunately, had the privilege of meeting you before.
Yes.
You've covered many roles across the industry, so you are no stranger to our industry.
No.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Lorraine, let me start from the beginning. I come from the Eastern Cape, right? From a very large family. I've got 9 siblings.
Fabulous.
Yeah, so collectively, together with my parents, we've got this army of 12 people.
Oh, I
so
always envy people with huge families.
Nobody can attack us, you know. Yeah, yeah, so coming from that environment, I'm married, 1 daughter, you know.
No.
It's like from one extreme to the next.
That's
you know?
incredible.
Yes.
Wow. So your role here at BSG, tell us a little bit more about what you do here.
I kind of consider myself as being semi-retired.
Okay.
When I got to age of 56, I was working at the time, just completed an assignment in Altron. I was the CEO of Altron. I decided, no, I'm tired of these CEO roles now. I want to be part of something that I can leave behind, you know. So I invested in this company called BSG, which is a business and a technology consulting company. You know? So what we do is in the past, we're largely focusing in financial services. So almost all of the large banks, they are our clients, and we're helping them with digital transformation. But at the core of what we do, we are very strong when it comes to data and insights. You know, using data and insights to help people to make good decisions. So that's what really we are doing as a company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've obviously covered a lot of roles. You've mentioned being at Altron. You were also at Microsoft for a while.
Yes, I was in Altron. Maybe let me take one step back from Altron. I was the CEO of MTN South Africa.
That's right.
You know, there was a time when when MTN was going through a very difficult time. And there was, maybe people who are old enough will remember, there was a strike, almost 3 months of strike. You know, had people toying there. It's when they actually knocked on my door, said, hey, you see that those people that are toying there, don't you want to become their leader? I said, yeah, when should I start? Yeah, so I worked there, and we sorted that out, and we got the company back to a growth.
Fabulous.
But before that, I was with Microsoft for 6 years. Before that, I was the IBM company for 12 years, both here in South Africa and in Europe.
Okay,
Yeah.
fabulous. What a wonderful career path.
Yeah, it's been a great career.
Do you consider yourself a fixer then?
I'm an engineer at heart, so I'm a mechanical engineer by training, you know.
There we go.
So that is the thing that set me, you know, most of us as engineers will really like to, you are at home when there is a mess.
And you
we're
can
at home
solve
to
it.
go and sort out that mess. Yeah,
That's a very special skill. Not many people have that.
Yeah. So I always say, Lorraine, that I don't like competition, you know, and I always take those jobs where most of the people they don't want them.
Yes.
So when they are running away, I go for those jobs because, you know, I don't like competition. Yeah.
But you have a reputation for fixing these messes, and it's wonderful. You're leaving a legacy behind already.
Yeah.
And you can hand it over to someone else.
It's always, you know, one of the things that is key when it comes to leadership, for me at least, is when you're given something, when you hand over that thing to the next person, it must always be better than what you found.
Very
you know?
true.
And,
I agree.
and that has always been my motto, whether it was at Microsoft or at IBM or in Eskom now. You know, the Eskom that I found and the Eskom that I live is going to be in a much better place, always.
I'm sure we're all happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Very much so. Obviously, having worked in so many different companies across our industry, how do you see skills development? I'm sure it's something that's very close to your heart as well.
If you think about our country, we often talk about inclusive growth. We need to have a country where we have growth, but that growth needs to bring with it employment of people.
Yes.
And the thing that is the thing that is stopping us from achieving the kind of growth. One of the things that is stopping us from achieving that growth is shortage of skills in our market. You know, we've got a shortage of skills, but the skills that we have actually, they are world class. You know, whether they go to the banks or anywhere, these guys can be employed everywhere, but you just don't have enough of them.
Yes.
Right. So that is stopping most of our companies from growing. In particular, because now we're talking about skills in general, but in particular, digital skills. That is the area where, because you think about it, as we move into this new world, most of the companies now are born in the cloud, you know.
Yes.
Some of them, they don't even have physical locations like offices here. They are only reside in the cloud. So if you do not have people that understand that world, you are not going to be able to be competitive, you know. So for me, skills in this economy is the thing that we need to focus on, all of us.
Agreed.
Whether we're talking public sector or private sector or whoever, we need to work together. And it's a problem that needs to be addressed. It cannot be addressed by one company, BSG, let me try and solve. It has to be addressed collectively.
I have a theory on my side, and that is I see a lot of companies are getting skills that are very specialized from overseas, from elsewhere. And I feel that we have 1 million matriculants that finish school every year, and those people need jobs. And IT is very popular in this country, everybody. And even if you're not going into IT, like you say, digital skills are important in every job. I just feel that as companies, we need to look at our current workforce, make sure that they have all the skills they need and move people up so that we can make space and take the people that we have, upskill them so that we can fill those higher positions ourselves without getting skills from elsewhere. Because you're right, we have wonderful skills in this country. And then we make space and we can create more jobs. That's one area.
I agree with
What
that
do you
approach.
think about that?
I agree with that approach.
Can I talk about your career and how you started? You mentioned engineer.
Yes.
So firstly, tell us what type of engineering you studied, and then tell us how did you get into IT from there?
Yeah. So I was coming from the Eastern Cape. I studied at St. John's College, not this one up here in Johannesburg, the one in Mteto.
Okay.
And I remember when I was in grade 12, at that time we used to write this thing called a Science Olympiad.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
So it was math, science, and biology. So all grade 12 students across the country used to write this thing. And the top students will then go and represent South Africa in the UK. So all over the world, top students will then come. So I was fortunate enough to be one of those top students who represented South Africa. I remember the Daily Dispatch, which is the local newspaper in the Eastern Cape. They interviewed me like you are interviewing me now. And but you are doing a great job compared to them.
Thank you.
So they were asking me the question, what are you planning to do after, you know, I said, I want to be a doctor. So that was when I was about to go to the UK. So jumped on the plane, went to the UK.
Yes.
I opened my eyes in terms of the different careers that are out there. I did not even know that there was engineering when I left.
Wow.
When I came back, to the disappointment of my parents,
They wanted you to be a doctor.
wanted me to be a doctor. I said, no, sorry, that won't work for me. So I ended up being an engineer. Through that, I went to University of Natal in Durban, and through that, I got scholarship from a company called Afrox. it's a gas
We all
company.
know them, yes.
So I ended up working for them for like 8 years. Although my scholarship, it was just 4 years. So you can see, I don't job hop.
Yes.
You know,
Not like the kids today.
I stayed longer than my contract of 4 years. You know,
Yes.
so to that, then this company called IBM, they knocked on my door and say, "Hey, can you come and join us?" And yeah, I joined them here in Johannesburg.
So your first IT job was at IBM? What did you do?
What was the IBM?
What-
In
what
fact,
did
I was like saying,
What is IT?
why would
why
would
did
I go to? I'm an engineer, mechanical engineer. Why would I be going to
I
IT?
can see it. I
You know,
can
it's
see
like,
it.
this is crazy. I said, no, go away. He said, no, we want exactly people like you. It was during the time of Lou Gesner. Lou Gesner was the CEO of IBM,
Yes.
who changed IBM from being just an IT company to a company that comes with solutions, that understands different industries. So their interest in me was this industry vertical called process and petroleum. So my understanding of that, they were hiring people from the banks, different people. So I came from the
Very
world of
clever.
manufacturing, you know. So came there, they trained, said, we've got enough people who understand IT, but
Yes.
we need people who understand, you know, the different
industry.
industries. You know,
Yes.
we will train you on the IT side of
Very
things.
interesting.
So that's how I ended up in that world. You know?
So I know from what you explained earlier that skills development is very close to your heart.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for young people who are at school right now and have to make decisions?
When I look at countries that are successful,
Yes.
at the core, what is it that's driving the success of those countries? I would say countries that have invested significantly on STEM kind
Yes.
of
skills.
skills.
Yeah.
So their whole orientation around the education system, it prioritizes that.
Yes.
So we may have an education system here in South Africa that does not prioritize that. But as a student, you need to know what is it that can help you to be different. That is it that will make you to be employable. If you invest in that, take the time. Some of people think that it is very difficult, but it is not that difficult. Take away this notion that math, science, and whatever is difficult. No, try and have an open mind and invest and build those skills. That will set you up well. You know, the ability to think differently, the ability to problem solve. That ability, it helps you. You know, we are living in a world that is changing so fast.
Yes.
You know, every day things are changing. What used to be there yesterday, it may not be relevant tomorrow, right? But for me, I've been able to move from manufacturing, I moved into IT, I moved into telecommunications,
Yes.
and now I'm in the energy space.
Yes. No, exactly.
So all of those three industries, 4 different industries. What's the one thing that is common? The one thing that I'm carrying across all of them is the ability to solve problems.
Yes.
Problem solving is common.
100%.
You know, and what helped me to be able to do that is that math science base that I have. So I would say that they must focus on that. Focus on social and communication, those skills. You know, the one thing that I struggled with as an engineer. You know, you may be good in math, science, but you know, I used to come to meetings. You know, I'm now in the world of work. Come to meetings, I'm quiet. I'm not saying a word. Nobody can read what's happening in your mind.
No, you've got to talk.
You've got to talk. So I had to force myself when I started to see people say, "No, man, I thought that guy is not as smart as I am, but he keeps, you know, they keep promoting this, and what is the problem?"
Yeah.
I realized that, the problem is here.
Yeah.
You've got to say something.
Very good advice.
Either you contribute, ask a question, or you make a comment, say something.
Be heard.
Be heard. Then
true.
you start to see doors opening, things like so. So that is something that people who have got an engineering degree or technical degrees, they like to sit behind their computers and be quiet and doing this and not say anything.
Yeah.
Try and get out of that.
Yeah.
Get out of that.
Very true.
So that, yeah.
So were you lucky enough that the school where you were was very strong in the STEM area?
Yes.
What about kids?
Strong teachers.
Teachers. That
Strong
makes a big
teachers. That is very, very important. It's the teachers.
Yes.
It's the teachers, because you really can only be as good as as the teachers that you have.
Very true. But what
So,
if you're not? We have a lot of young people who don't have that access. I believe that if you must be inquisitive and go look for information. I mean, there's stuff on YouTube.
We are living in a world now where there is so much content.
Yes.
And also connectivity is not as expensive.
No,
so
not
a combination
anymore.
of
Everybody
that,
has a phone.
yes, YouTube. Okay, this theorem.
Yep.
I have no idea how to figure out this theorem. Okay, you can go to YouTube and they will teach you in 15 minutes, Look at the basics.
Yes.
Going to at the core, you get it just like that.
Yes.
So there is content for everything.
Yes.
So be responsible for your life.
Very good advice.
Be responsible.
Brilliant
for your life. Don't wait. Don't wait.
I want to go back to something you said earlier, and this is something that I hear a lot. And although it isn't wrong to use the wording, you said you were lucky enough. I don't believe that. And I'm sure you
create
also,
your own luck.
That's it. Exactly.
I was not really lucky.
No, you weren't. You worked for it.
I worked
you
for
put
it.
the time in.
I'm just being like,
Sometimes we're lucky to be in the right place
Yes.
at the right time, but it's not about luck. It's about taking your life and deciding where you want to go. You do not have to let your situation decide who you are and who you're going to be.
I agree.
Brilliant
100%.
advice.
I agree 100%. Somebody said something along the lines of, we all make choices.
Very
but
true.
in the end, our choices make us.
100%.
So at least what I take from that is that we can be born in circumstances that are terrible.
Yes.
But it's really up to us whether we want to continue to be there or not. It's really about the choices that we make. We can rise above our circumstances
100%.
through the choices that we make.
100%.
I believe in creating my own future. People are,
100%.
okay, what do you mean? It's the choices that you make, what you decide today, where you are now. You are exactly where you should be, and exactly where I should be, given the choices that I've made.
Yes.
I'm exactly where I should be. But tomorrow, where I will be depends on the decision the choices that I make today. 100%. So it's the key is really, really be conscious about the choices that you are making, because they will determine where you are going to be in the future.
100%.
So let us just be conscious and make conscious decisions.
You and I can sit and talk the rest of the day, but obviously I have to end the video at some point.
Yeah.
I have one last question. BSG itself, what is your take on skills development of your team?
Yeah. So this company is now 28 years. It's been around for 28 years. We just have over 200 consultants in the company.
Okay.
And it was built from graduates.
Okay.
Went and managed to get graduates from the different universities, and these were the graduates that continue to be leading. They are leading the company now, but we continue to be bringing every year.
Any specific degrees or?
Oh yes, computer science. Computer science degrees.
Okay.
We choose. They must have honors. Computer honors. Yeah, those are the people that we bring into the company.
But these are obviously, when you say consultants, we're talking about highly skilled people.
Highly skilled people.
Okay.
Yeah, highly skilled people. These are people who would be trusted advisors to
Yes.
the chief information officers.
Absolutely.
You know,
Very
and say,
important.
okay, I'm planning to do this and do that and do that. How would I go about doing it?
Yeah,
You
so
know,
it's strategic and
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. So we then bring them in here, and for 2 years they go through a management development program.
Wow.
Yeah, for 2 years.
Intense.
But we're also including them as we do projects. We take them, you know.
So it's on the
They're
job
going
learning.
through. They go through the training, but they also go through the on the job.
practical.
Yes, exactly. After those 2 years, they are ready to be part of the BSG family
Okay.
and contributing. So every year we bring in new people, new consultants.
Okay, I promise my last question.
Yeah.
You've obviously over the years interviewed a lot of people. How do you select people? So you have two people, they both have the same degree, on paper they're the same. What are the things that you look for in individuals to come and work for you?
What is key for us is that we've got a culture in this
Okay.
organization,
Okay,
right?
we hear
We've
that a
got
lot, yes.
culture, and that culture is underpinned by a set of values,
Okay.
right? One of those values is being practical. So it's great that you can theorize, but at the end of the day, we want to solve real problems. So we want people that can take that knowledge that they've gained wherever, it could be from high school, wherever, and apply it in the real world, the ability to do that. So that's the one thing.
Okay.
One of our values is openness and honesty and integrity.
Yes.
So that is very important to us, you know. The other one is collaboration. You know, many of us think that we want to be lone heroes. No, I want to be this. In our environment here, we work as teams.
Yes.
And how we work with our clients as well, we integrate with our clients. We don't compete with them. We transfer our knowledge to our clients and leave them better. You know,
Yes.
so that ability to work as part of a team is something that we look at. You know,
Yes.
so we look at those soft. You may think that these are soft skills. We look at those soft skills because the technical skills, you know, everybody gets them.
Spot on.
But it's the
I
other,
knew
it's
you
the
were going
other
to say
things
that.
that
Yes.
matter, and
Yeah.
that's what sets BSG apart. You know.
I really expected you to say that because that's exactly what I believe, that I can teach people my products and my company, but the attitude and the individual is
Yes.
something that's unique.
Yes.
Very difficult to define all that in a 1 hour interview.
Our interviews
So
are not 1
it
hour.
takes a couple
takes
of months.
Yeah, it takes a
that's
long
the way
process.
to do
A
it.
long process. Our
Yes.
interview process. You come and present to us. You know, we
Yes.
look at. We do, you know, analysis of you. What is your style of approaching things? We look at everything.
Yes.
You know, and when we say yes, you are part of us, we are all in as supportive of your career all the way.
100%.
Yeah.
So in terms of the information we provide to individuals out there for careers, I think it's important for them to understand that I see a lot of them complain that companies take so long to make decisions, and this is the reason.
Yeah.
You have to find the right person
Yeah.
that fits your company culture,
Yes.
that is going to build a career with your organization. So that takes time. It's not just about
takes
getting...
time. And it's not good for all parties. It's not good for the individual if
No.
we bring you here and then after
It's not a
6
fit.
months you realize that this is not
not
the
for
place
me.
for you. You know,
Yes.
and this has got nothing to do with color.
No?
It's just everything to do with you know who you are and your preferences, your values.
Exactly.
You know? Yes.
100% agree with that. Mteto, it was wonderful to chat to you. I really had a great time. I hope you did too.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Lorraine.
Thank you, Mteto. And that ends our discussion with Mteto. I had a great time, and I think he shared some really valuable information for young people who are getting into careers. I hope that you all enjoyed as much as I did. Thank you.